All right. So the first thing I usually get to talk with my students about is the team matchup and kind of like what is going to go on through your mind as you're playing through it. So I remember asking you about Kaisa Thresh versus Alistar Jin, and you told me Jin is stronger early game and doesn't need as much resources as Kaisa. Is that right? Okay. So if that is the case, what was the kind of thing that you're going to play towards in the early game?
I thought that like playing like chill and not trying to like do hard things or not trying to force anything, we were like going to go fine into the late game, mid late game. So if we didn't like if we, I thought that if we went like even in the laning phase,
Mm-hmm.
we were just fine.
Right. Okay.
That's what I thought. So and as we had to dish and they didn't, they got level 2 prior and we like had to like kinda give up in the early laning phase.
Yeah. Okay. That's perfectly fine. And thinking about the other of your lanes, you told me as well mid lane had TP advantage over your one. Is there any other thing that each team wants to do?
Yeah, that I think that's an issue because they had a Fiora and we had a Galio and both can like and play in the side lanes and Galio's TP has ult and Fiora has like great amount of pressure and we had a Timo and like no one could really face the Fiora in the side lane. So I think that's like an issue and we were like forced to get picks and like burst because we have a lot of burst with Evelyn and Veigar, so we could like um play the mid lane game
Good.
uh, that way.
Good. The focus of your kind of spiel is to make picks because that's what your comp kind of centers around on.
Yeah,
Naturally, the opposite team, they're what are they looking to do?
um, they are looking better in 5v5s, I think, because they have the fail sticks, they have like two uh, front lines, they can like play front to back,
Yep,
and they have an easier team to execute team fights.
absolutely. So putting that into mind, how do you think you set up your team to be better at making picks and kind of winning through that sense?
Uh, Vision, like, is
Yes.
the number one thing.
Yes. Vision is so important. Um, we'll come to the mid to late game where I'll point out a couple of areas of where we could have done better in vision, and also
Okay.
kind of how to manipulate the enemy team into moving based off of your vision. So we'll go through that VOD replay, and then we might go over some warding spots of what might be the best points. Does that sound alright to you?
Yeah, fine.
All right, let's go for it then. So the first thing you called for was an invade, which I
Yeah,
thought was pretty interesting. What makes you think that you guys had the stronger level one against them?
honestly, I didn't think that. I like almost always when we start red side, I go with for invade because I think this invade is pretty consistent. Like if there's someone, but if we go like the where we and I and Evelyn went, they like can't see you until you're up in their faces.
Yep,
When
absolutely.
I'm fresh, I can like hook that guy and he has to either flash or just die.
Okay,
That's what I. But when I'm in the blue side, I just cover. That's like my default level one setup.
right. Okay. That's why it's just important for you to make sure you're standing around here on blue side as well. Just to cover this invade
Yeah,
path.
yeah, I always do this. But here Kaiser like trolled us because this Alistar was dead if this
Yeah.
Kaiser didn't do that.
I would agree as well.
But it's okay. No big deal.
Let's talk a little bit about jungle matchups as well. If you know that the enemies didn't have to leash, the junglers started topside, so when can you
Yeah.
expect to gank around bot side? Or
Around
him showing up at bot scuttle?
around the uh, third minute mark, like in 3 minutes or 2 minutes and 40 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, it often depends on how long their clear path is. Fiddlesticks has a
Yeah.
very healthy clear, but a bit longer, so it might be around 3 to 310, anytime around that. Why does that matter that Evelyn is also starting blue? And how does it affect the outcome of the scuttle fight?
They will be like kind of trading skulls where Evelyn is taking the top side skull and Felix is taking the bot side skull, both kind of for free because the other jungler is the other time side of the map.
Good. So that means for you guys playing bot lane, you will be playing weak side up to level
Yeah,
3 and a bit more afterwards as well. That also affects how you ward when you're in the lane and your wave management as well. But because that they have
yeah.
the level 2 shove into you, how can you affect it so that the wave kind of stays there?
I tried to do that, like thinning the wave,
Mm-hmm.
so that it's they can't um, build a big wave and crash it into tower because then it will bounce back to them and then it's like the moment when Filthy arrives and we can't ward because he like can already be in the bush, so it's like kind of dangerous to ward at that timing. So I tried to prevent the wave from crashing and like freeze it
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for
all
as long
great
as I
things.
could.
Yeah, all great things. So, what do you think you can also be doing more as level 1 as Thresh?
Hitting auto attacks,
Yeah,
autos.
since you started E, just use your Empower auto attacks to flick Alistar and then hide back into bush to drop minion aggro. Because
Yeah,
at the moment, you're not pressuring him to basically try for his level 2 prio. He knows that he can get it, but he's also getting it for free.
yeah,
You see what I mean? So, like right here, you can see that he's ready to hit these melee minions, but you're kind of happy just letting him do so, even though you have like maybe a 5 second window before he hits level 2 as well.
yeah,
So you should be hitting him, dropping mini aggro, hitting him, dropping mini aggro when you got that empowered auto attack. It's these
yeah,
small kind of damages that stack up over a long time and might
yeah.
prevent the level 2 from getting in.
Yeah, and also when he's like low HP, he can't go for an all in.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a bit of a misposition by you right there.
Yeah,
You also know that you can flay Alistar out of his WQ, right?
yeah, yeah.
Were you thinking about that at any point in time? Like, were you predicting it or were you ready for it?
No, actually not. I'm not
That,
that used to play this matchup, to be
right.
honest.
Okay. Well, we'll store it into our memory banks. Every time you play against an Alistar now, you know that if he's looking for that WQ, you're going to be ready to flay him.
Yeah, but I have to predict it, or can I react?
How good is your reaction time?
Uh-huh.
No, how good is your reaction time?
Uh, I'll say uh, above average.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've tested because there's a like human benchmark
Oh yeah.
website,
Yep.
and then you can like test your reaction time.
Oh right.
I had like the lowest I had was like 180 or something.
Fair. That's really good.
The average is like 200.
I'll tell you a secret that anticipating the actual combo itself is more important than reacting to it.
Yeah.
So what I want you to recognize is whenever an Alistair walks towards you with his W hover. Like look at this clip for example. We're gonna slow it down. You can tell me if you can see the instance he presses W over Kaisa. Right.
Oh,
You can see he kind of like changes direction and just goes in a straight line.
yeah.
That's when you can tell that's when you're gonna play. Unlucky with that hook. Good idea though.
If I hooked him right there, that would be really nice because he was taking me in aggro and I could clear him. Kaiser would like rock his passive.
Yeah. Okay, so remember how we talked about how the junglers would be on opposite side right now? So
Yeah.
let's so with that, Fiddlesticks should be bot side right now and taking Scuttle. Look at where the wave is at the moment and look at your positioning. This is almost kind of like saying, yeah, Fiddle, this is a free gank for us. Because the wave is shoving into them right now.
Yeah. I trust right here, like Jim starts pushing.
Yeah, absolutely. If we take a look at where Fiddle is, yeah, perfect. He's literally right at jungle right now.
Yeah.
They're trading Scuttle. So this is the perfect kind of like split map scenario that you see. The fact that we're using our abilities, if we know that there's a potential for the gank, and I think you have two wards as well. Yeah, is a bit int, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I
So
should work like with a trick when you can work like safely with push.
you can, or you can prevent, or if you know that he's going to be bot side by around 3 minutes, you could have already warded River by 250. You anticipate that he's going to come to clear Scuttle at that time, and then kind of match it and say, okay, now that I know he's bot side, this is what I'm gonna do.
What time the this call appears?
Sorry, what time for what?
The spawn skull.
Scuttle spawns at 3:15. Most junglers' clear times are anywhere between 3 minutes and 3:10.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, this is why like if both junglers started bot side, they always want their mid laner to have prio. You've heard of that term, right?
yeah.
So that they can react to the 2v2 in the river faster. Okay, let's see why they managed to win that trade. I mean, it just looks like we just didn't react it at all. However, you now have a very small window where Alistar doesn't have his key abilities. So what should you be doing instead at this point?
Engaging.
Not engaging, but maybe pressuring would be the right term.
Okay.
I want you to be taking more bush priority, create more uncertainty of where you are, and use your abilities as a threat to them. If you see how you're positioning right now, Jin feels safe enough that he can always walk up to the backline minions. Instead, if the wave was shoved up all the way over here, the position that you can take for any hook angle would be along this side, right? Because the
Yeah.
side's all kind of blocked by minions. So you want to make him feel like that you could potentially engage at any moment. So I want you to spot the angle the next time you find yourself in a situation like this, instead of playing so safe and far up by your turret. Play around here. Because the good thing is, A, you can't be ganked. And second, if Alistar tries to engage on you, then you can just flay him back into your turret and hook him. And they aren't able to engage off any of that. You see how there's so much more pressure that you could be making right here.
You will learn what beauty truly is.
Okay, so you see them backing, and then you're like, let's shove the wave. Good. And they don't freeze because they're they actually shove it back to you and try to. Here, by the way, you bought one extra potion. That's a bit inefficient of your gold usage. If you're going to be buying any sort of sustained lane, have you ever thought about getting a refillable potion?
Yeah, they already had one potion or two.
Yeah, you already had to. So what was the point of getting one more?
Yeah.
I wonder if you actually had enough gold for straight up Moby boots.
No, I haven't.
No, it doesn't look like you did. Yeah, you only have 700. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so in a situation like this, what is the best move to make?
I think to push the lane as fast as possible. Just the wave, and then I don't know, maybe in Raw help Veigar, or I don't know, but I think it's a pretty awkward sport
Yeah.
to be,
So let's see, let's discuss it in
because
the
Veigar died, so they have one man. They have a man advantage. They
yeah.
have the numbers, so I don't know. I actually don't know what's the best movie.
Let's talk about it and what moves we can actually make. Okay. So maybe you and Kaisa discard the coming wave that's here and walk all the way over to Drake to fight a 3v4. Like you said, you guys are down a man. Or second option is we can just keep shoving the wave and kind of hard crash the next one or that. Between those two alternatives, the first Drake doesn't have that much sway over the outcome of the game. So if you guys lose one, that's good in the long term if the situation's
Yeah.
unfavorable for you. So in this essence, what should you be doing?
Leaving pushing the wave, I guess.
Yeah, perfect. Just leave the first Drake
Yeah.
and just ping. if I was the jungler, I would already have been around top side clearing my camps, or even bot side looking for his camps to
Yeah.
clear as well.
I've noticed like at least in this elo, the junglers are dragon addicts. Like they play the whole game based in dragons. Like yesterday, I played a game with duo, and the enemy team literally lost the game because went all dragon to get the mountain soul when they had a team like ours, like they didn't have any tanks, and they
Right.
lost the game because their nexus was open. We TP'd and like ended. That's so true.
Yeah. Good. So I want you to kind of extrapolate that and say objectives aren't 100% the most important if the situation is not good for it, right?
Yeah.
So moving here is almost kind of a waste of time when in essence this wave could have already been at their turret and shoved out, and you guys would have gotten a free reset based off of the items that you got from this wave. The fact that Fiddlesticks could also be around bot right now is a bit scary.
But we should have pushed that faster or
Yeah,
be there faster.
yeah. What is the point of this roam, by the way?
I like I thought that Fiddlestick would be around both sides still, so maybe counter gang Veigar because his wave is pushing in, but no more than that.
And so you
Like
are
just to see what happens and like, be prepared.
okay. I think the intention of your roam is good, but the instance you see that they have vision on you, i.e., this
Yeah,
scuttle vision,
yeah,
it's basically saying, okay, this is fruitless because they know where I am.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I see.
So I would have just gone straight back bot. Because even though Alistar is level 5, Kaisa can still very easily be dove at level 5 because she has no ult. So be very careful about doing something like this. So you guys are trying to shove the wave right now. I want you to pay attention to where the wave crashes.
That's pretty awkward. Also,
It's a pretty awkward freeze. If the enemies were smarter, they would have frozen it right there. However, they don't. One of the things that a lot of supports don't look at when they try to crash a wave is the position of their own one that's coming to back it up. Let me rewind a little bit and show you. In this situation, the best move would have just been to freeze it at your turret right here. However, since you guys are going for the shove, look at where your own minions are in relation to the wave you have right now. If it looks like that they are going to be crashing at the same time, i.e. it's going to be joining you just with that kind of gap, the best thing to do is to slow push, wait for this to join it, and then fast push. You see?
okay, yeah,
That way the enemies cannot freeze it in a sense where they're going to lose too much HP in doing so. Do you see the difference?
yeah. I
Yeah.
can see.
So that's a very key mistake that a lot of players make. So if you're able to do that, then you'll already be playing bot lane at a very high level. Good. I think we have enough gold for our Mobies? No, actually, you need 700. Oh wait, no, you didn't go Mobies this game. You went Mercs, didn't you?
Not buying movies because if I want to roam a lot, I go for Swifties, and they are like heavy AD or heavy AP. I go or heavy CC. I go Mercs or Ninja Talis.
Okay. Was this when Fiddlesticks was bought, by the way? I can't remember. There was a gank where you guys died to and you saw Fiddlesticks bot lane. Maybe not, maybe it was later in the game.
Not yet. I think this is where they die. Because
Oh, yeah.
they died to a gank first, then we
Yeah.
died to.
Very good patience from you guys. And you started off with a flash E, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. Good. And it ends up into a kill. Yeah, really good. Yeah, all fine. And just shove wave heavy. Is it in to go for the turret plate here?
I think we should because we don't have time to, or maybe we can get to play, and then we can back because Philistine is like speed running to us.
Yeah, he's doing the 100 meters dash right back to you
Yeah,
guys.
he saw the Olympics, the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
The next
So,
was in Bob.
yeah. The other thing to also take into consideration here is that Drake is going to be spawning within the next minute.
Yeah.
What that means is you guys definitely want to have already reset before. So the best idea or the quickest way to do this for yourself is here at this moment, lantern back, walk into the bush, and already start to recall.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the quickest. That's the best usage of your resources as quick as you can. Set you back up. Have the reset for Baron, sorry, for Drake, and then we're gonna fight after that. All right. But these are just kind of like mini optimizations. If your Kai'Sa's going for a turret plate, I'd back ping the hell out of her and say, that's int. Come back with me. Right? Like, what is she doing? She's wasted 3 seconds of time. Oh, but yeah. Does that make sense? Like, you can see that, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that also in that moment. I remember.
Okay. So we have this kind of little situation where A, we don't know where Fiddlesticks is,
Yeah.
and second, Drake is
Definitely.
up right now.
Yeah.
What's the
But I
best?
think that
Yeah.
he's definitely like around here because he's a jungler and there's a dragon. He
Yeah.
must be here.
So what? How should you play? How should you approach this scenario?
Uh, it should like I think he's either behind Galio, like in the bush behind Galio,
Mm-hmm.
or in the dry bush, waiting for us. Or yeah, I think these are like the two options where he could be, and where he can puff his out from.
Okay. So how do you counter that?
Um, by warding, maybe behind the dragon pit, or
What here?
like yeah, or I can use yeah, I can ward drivers uh, from the pit.
Both of those are pretty risky, in my opinion. And considering their mid laner has a move, that might be risky to do. I have
Yeah.
no knowledge of where every single enemy is, except for Galio. Trust your
Um,
gut instinct and go for a safer move. So try again. Try again.
mm, I could turn into Galio maybe because if we turn to Galio, Veigar can like arrive faster, and we have vision there, so we can play like around the vision we already have.
Good. That's all dependent on where Fiddlesticks is. I think that would have been the better move, since you guys do have a good collapse onto him with good vision coverage of where you are.
I kinda tunnel vision here with the Alistar,
A little
but
bit,
I
yeah.
also was very surprised that Galio moved because like I, don't- I didn't expect that. Yeah, we could easily collapse here because Pilsing wasn't with him.
Mm-hmm.
I died. I tunnel vision.
All good. It happens to the best of us. I actually don't know where Alistar went. It looks like he just disappeared in the middle. It looks like he just took the blast cone.
I didn't. I didn't see him. Like it was a really good timing.
Yeah. Also, here's where the gank is. You see Fiddlesticks bot side with this ward, and we still walk forward into them.
Do we have a word here?
Yeah, you just saw Fiddlesticks. You don't see him?
But it is yeah, because um the yesterday I played a game where there was a bug and the enemy team had vision in this push in the middle, and they didn't. We watched the bot back and they didn't place a word. There wasn't a word, and they could see me, and the minions could see me also.
Oh, right. Wild.
But right now we have a word. I
Yeah,
remember I placed it before backing, before racing.
and this leads to our
Uh,
death, basically.
yeah,
So that's 2 deaths based off of A, lack of vision of where the enemy is, and second, maybe just reacting wrongly to the scenario. So I want you to
yeah,
make smarter decisions based off of your current vision.
yeah. I think I have to be like to have more awareness, map
Yeah,
awareness.
yeah. I would wager that that's a very good thing to start building towards. The trick to building map awareness is having a reminder to constantly look at your map. Do you have a second monitor?
Yes.
Okay. What I want you to do is pull up literally a Word document or notes or whatever app you have and put it down there on your right in like size 50 font. Look at your map. So every single time you look at your second monitor, you're like, I have to look at my map. I have to look at my map. And then that turns into a habit. And then you'll basically become a map awareness god, right? And that's the best kind of thing that you can ask for. Okay, this is really good. This is a great example of good map awareness. You set up
Yeah. Here.
for
Yeah.
yeah, you set up for a really good ward here, and then this allows you to make a very good pick because you know that there's going to be Alistar Galio there, and it's going to be a 3v2.
Yeah.
Right? Perfect example of good vision.
As I see field six right here, I'm calling my team to back off because we're behind right now.
Yeah, you
So
barely got away
like
with that.
I don't know what happened right here. Like everything was
This should have landed.
yeah.
I don't know why it didn't, but you know, League is funky sometimes.
Just
Um,
missed everything.
Tell me about the skill shots.
Yeah, I am. I'm.
Okay, happens to the best of us. All right,
Do
there's
you
some.
know the clip of Bifrost? There's a clip where he like flashes in and misses everything. Literally everything. It's like he flashes hook, misses, flares, misses, ults, misses, and then just keeps up.
There. Okay, analyze the map for me now. What is the best move that you could be doing?
Right now, I think since we have mid, the way midway pushed in, we can with Veigar work up and work for the dragon that's coming up.
Okay. Tell me specifically where you're gonna walk through and how you're gonna ward.
Or maybe it's a better idea to use the vision we already have Herald, and as soon as everything is has reset, we can like trade objectives and let them have the dragon and we get the Herald.
You want to? Sorry, you want to say you guys take Drake while they take Herald?
No, the inverse. Like, we take Herald and they take dragon.
Okay. That will put them at soul point though.
Yeah, yeah, just have that. So maybe just I'll word and I'll go like I don't know how to explain this. Like where the banner is,
This banner.
yeah,
Okay.
right there. This path.
And then go ward Drake.
And yeah, maybe where the bush in the river, that
Yep.
one where the cursor is.
Yep.
Yeah, and the big one, like the closest to the lake.
Good. I want you to see that this is because you also know where everyone on their team is or is going to be. This is
Yeah,
built on vision from before the fight. This was a ward before when you saw Galio and Alistar. This
yeah,
is why vision is so key. So now that you're able to kind of walk into this area knowing that, okay, they're all going to be walking towards there, so I'm just going to take a less risky path and just ward over the walls like this, and then just have a bit of Drake control. Except we go... I mean, what's that word for? One of the other things I want you to start practicing, by the way, is something called fogging. Have you heard of that before?
okay.
Yeah.
Uh, is that when like you hug the walls where the enemy has no vision, so that you can like be like hidden from the enemies the longest?
Absolutely. You want to create uncertainty that they that your team could be trying to make a pick at any given time. Let's look at the
Okay.
vision from their side at the moment. They only see so say you were hidden from view. Say you were like hiding in one of these bushes over there with Evelyn ready to make a pick. They would be a lot more scared to walk in like this. It's because that
Yeah.
they know that the two biggest potential playmakers on your team, Thresh and Vagar, are here, that they're able to confidently walk in like this, right? So by fogging, I want you to say, okay, I'm just gonna stay in fog of war, just out of sight, and clear this entire region while setting up for Drake Vision. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. To see how they have perfect information of your team now because of the vision
Yeah.
that they've kind of placed. And they're not afraid to get picked. But this is where they might be able to make plays of sort. Good. it out. Okay, a good team fight. That
Yeah.
came out into your favor.
Yeah. We're not that far behind, I thought we were.
Yeah. Another concept that I think is important for you to know as a support is called Spoils of War. Actually, I learned this from Biofrost, so you should have heard of this. Ever heard of it? Spoils of War?
Boys of
Spoils of War.
Spoils of War.
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard that.
Okay. So it's the idea that after you win a team fight, you've won temporary pressure around the area that you're in. So you want to use any sort of remaining vision that you have to build on for the next team fight afterwards. So maybe if you're here already and you know that 4 of them are dead, you might walk over here and ward this area so you have information for the next team fight. Okay, same thing for me. Reanalyze the map now and tell me what you're going to do.
Now, I think we are like kind of coming back. We're even right now. But since we have vision around Dragon, we can push the mid wave and get deeper vision. And since okay, so they have to send one guy to the bot lane to clear this wave, maybe, and so we can push mid and then play steep vision. That would be my play right now. Like push mid with my team and then play steeper vision. Also knowing the fact that someone from their team should be going bot.
I'm going to take your game plan and tweak it a little bit. First thing is that in terms of wave clear, you're not going to offer much to Vhagar in terms of wave clear speed, even if you were there. So I want you to do fogging, but hover around mid lane, ready to make any picks, but also setting up vision at the same time. That would be a better, slight adjustment, but still your kind of plan.
In Spanish we have a concept for this. I actually knew that concept of fogging. It calls hacer sombra.
How are you saying
like
that?
To be hacer sombra.
Sombra.
Sombra from shadow.
Yeah.
Like to make shadow for someone.
Oh.
It's like a literal translate.
Right. Hacer
like when
sombra.
you are like with like if I'm in the bush next to the mid lane, like the Veigar is alone apparently, but I'm like right there if thing happens. That's called hacer sombra.
Hacer sombra. Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, but not I think that's like from Chile, no?
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, use that a bit more. Create more pressure by being unknown on the map. Just by showing your face right there, they're like, okay, I know that Thresh is there, so I'm free to go on Teemo bot lane.
Won't this like make me miss EXP?
Realistically, are you going to be carrying with levels as a support?
And not that much, but I don't want to be level 10 when everyone is like, especially when I'm the only guy who can be kind of frontline.
I see what you mean.
Okay.
I'd say that the value of making better picks and winning team fights will make up for the XP loss from a minion wave.
Okay.
Also, how did Vagar get all the way up there to die? It was because we didn't have vision around this bush that Fiddlesticks was able to out of it. And I think he had wards as well. You have 3
He
wards.
knew we saw it.
He had 3 wards. So maybe that bush should have been warded.
That's actually my bad.
Okay, as you're retreating from a place as well, also keep an eye out for the potential flanks. So I want to ward over here, and I want to ward over here.
Yeah.
Smile. Everyone is watching.
My vision control this game was pretty poorly, as I can see.
It's all good.
Pretty poor.
We all have bad games.
Honestly, I especially have bad games when I'm confused. Like this game was kind of weird because I don't know.
What do you mean by
Like
confused?
Because I don't know. Like we didn't have um no one who can like sideline. Also, I don't know where Kaisa was like the last 3 minutes or more, 5, 7 minutes, and we also were like I don't know, like fights were coming to us. We were like not preparing enough, but that's also my fault.
It's all good. So like, notice how you kind of like walk to a place, clear the vision, but then you don't establish any as you're leaving the area as well. So in essence, what I mean by that is like you walk here, clear the ward. I would have placed a ward over here just to make sure I wasn't getting flanked. Or when you're walking in afterwards, you could also see them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, another pop quiz for you. When's the latest time you can back to be in time for Drake to spawn?
1 minute or maybe more than that.
Upper limit is 40 seconds. Your
Okay.
vision, yeah, your vision setup should already have been done by around 1:30 to 1 minute mark. Then you come back with a fresh set of wards, and then look for your picks or your fights. Why didn't you take that Q, by the way?
Huh?
Why didn't you take this Q? It was a very good flash hook. This one right here.
Very bad at the same time.
It was because we didn't have information of where the enemies were.
Yeah.
But why didn't you take the
Also,
Q
Vagar.
over?
Oh,
Take the Q over, flay him into the
gotcha.
Evelyn, assassinate Jin, and then focus on the rest of the team fight.
Because I got feared.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here I throw.
A little bit, yeah.
What beauty truly is.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard throw because we didn't have any vision. So you say 1 minute before dragon, I ward, then I back and come back with new wards. Then I play with the vision I already placed.
It should be even earlier than that. Your rewards last for a very long time. Let's see. Doesn't say, but maybe I'll see when I. 110 seconds. That's 1 minute and 50 seconds. That's a long time, right?
Yeah.
Use that. Put down your vision maybe even like 1 minute 30 before the objective spawns, and then go back, come, and then fight. Okay, let's see how this fight actually started. Let's see what tools we have at our disposal as well. So we have a pink and 2 wards.
Through my work, you shall transcend.
It was a pretty good team fight.
Right. I think it was when it got into the thick of it. How could it have started better though?
With a word.
With a ward. Yeah. Same thing over here. Just
Right
ward,
here.
yeah, ward over the wall, and then you have a free angle on whoever comes through.
Smile. Everyone is
I think you played that as well as you could have. Good lantern. Focusing on a good ult. Good flow. Although we did miss one of our hooks, but then that was fine. Okay, so with this kind of pressure, what should we do?
Ward deeper.
What was that, sorry?
Ward deeper.
Okay.
Place deeper wards and then back.
Perfect. Sounds good to
Right
me.
here, I was thinking we could do better, but actually, right when I see Evelyn not giving a shit about the experiments, I should place deeper wards if I have, and then back.
So if you're flipping objectives like this, you always run the risk of dying to them engaging on you if you guys are all going to be low from doing the Baron, right?
Yeah, especially since we have no front.
Yeah. So if that is the case, the best case scenario would be to bait like you're
There.
doing the Baron, and then flip and kind of like ambush someone when they come to it. So that's all dependent on you clearing out the vision first, and then kind of baiting to do so, if you are looking to do that, right? Instead, we're happy with taking tier 2. I want you to also note that I think this was placed by you. I can't remember. Yeah, it is perfect. Very good ward. Very nice pressure.
Yeah, I love placing ward in tier 2 turrets because that gives you like everything. Like we know Gallia Smith.
Yep. Okay, in terms of control, I would have preferred a pink right here, right where the here is, and then you've covered this entire area. A pink in this bush is very hard to defend.
Yeah. I think I waste too much pinks. Right.
Yeah. You wanna think of your pinks
Especially
as
when they have river control.
yeah. You want to be able to defend your pinks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you notice that they sent so many bots,
right now I don't know what is happening. Like Evelyn is mid and Kaisa goes bot to match the Fiora. Right now I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening.
Yep, I agree. With Evelyn dead, you have no choice but to give Drake.
Yeah.
So in essence, you should be setting up for Baron Vision.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking right now. And but I cannot I don't have time to do much of anything right now.
So in essence, one of the better things that you could have been doing here is being ready for a pick, standing right around this corner, right here.
Yeah.
I reckon.
I thought about that, but my team was so far back that even if I like hook G in here, they wouldn't be in time to react to that.
Right.
Veigar does that.
Yeah, Veigar does get a good pick off there. How come you don't take your Q2? Take
What?
Q2.
Sorry?
Q2 and then fray
Ah,
them.
yeah. Yeah, I could. Done.
Good.
Nice
Alistar is
controls.
dead. So what now?
And now I'm thinking we can take the path thing where the ward and the platform is,
Yep.
and then go ward the bush and like ward deep and then go better.
Sounds good.
And bait. Now,
Absolutely.
now
We
is
can
when we have
bait.
to bait.
Yep. You have perfect control over the entire area. But your team decides to chase instead. I have no idea
And
why you guys sent Veigar back to defend.
I, but I guess, yeah, maybe Timo can defend, but yeah, Sandy Vega is sort
Yep.
of, but he started backing first.
It should have been Teemo. And then you guys
Yeah,
could have faked the Baron.
it, that's bad. Like when we had advantages, we didn't capitalize on.
Yeah.
Play more later.
And then at this point, it was just kind of slightly doomed. Right. Okay. So we can use this time to basically recap what we've talked about. So in laning phase, what things are you going to be doing different now?
Ish, good. And so I should use my autos when I'm against Alistar specifically to poke him when he's level 1.
Mm-hmm.
I should um be aware of the next coming incoming wave uh, to like know if we have time to uh, hard push the wave or if we have to wait for the next one when we want to back or when we want to crash the wave.
Mm-hmm.
I should also position myself in a way that pressures Jin so that he can't like lane for free. He has to be aware of me doing something.
Yep.
Uh, Laning phase, I have to be aware of the jungler
How
and
so?
and and ward uh, before he's in my side. So if I know he start top side, we're like around the 2.5 minute mark, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So that by the minute, the third minute, I already have vision.
Right.
Also, in the landing phase, um, I think that's it.
Okay, sure. And how about the
At
mid to
least
late game?
mid to late game. Um, mid game, I should be hiding my position,
Yes.
a lot more, so that they have to be uh, like to not give free information.
Mm-hmm.
I should also um word objectives like more than a minute before, and then back and come with new words, ideally. And use our composition, like set up for pigs with vision. And when we win fights or we like have uh, a certain map control, like expand it with deeper words when I know the position of the enemies,
Mm-hmm.
like when I know it's safe to do so.
Right.
Um, and that's like mid game, and then late game it's kind of same, but yeah, I think it's always the same. Like setting vision around objectives and setting vision to get pigs.
Good. Sounds great to me. Remember that
Yeah,
the timers is 40 seconds is the latest that you come back, and your vision should already be set up by the minute half
yeah.
mark. Yeah. Okay, great. Do you have any questions?
I don't have anyone. Or uh no, I don't have any at the moment.
Okay. No worry. Great.